Oh, it's on. Hello. Happy Thursday, everybody. Praise be the Spiral. Welcome to the last coding stream of 2021. In the next 3 hours, we're going to go on a coding journey. Actually, we're probably not. It's probably going to be 2 hours and a load of chat, so as usual. Tonight I'm drinking Recordling Mango and Raspberry cider. Hopefully it's pretty nice. Thank you very much, True Tonys, for the resub. 14 months. Good evening and trippy Thursday. Thank you for the bits, Nicomo. Thank you for the host, Andy, and thank you for the host, Proud7 as well. Those notifications are loud. Yeah, let me knock them down a little bit then. There we go. No SIDS. All right, hang on. I probably didn't. Did I turn them off? Oh, yeah, I had them turned off. Okay, that's fine. There we go. Should all be on there. It's easy to forget, to be honest. Anyway, cheers, everybody. That's a strange flavour. I don't think I'm a big fan of mango flavoured things, to be honest. I like mangoes themselves, but I'm not a big fan of mangoes as a flavour in things. Cocaine and herpes. Oh my God, I still can't believe that was a legitimate answer. Yeah. I mean, people were joking and they weren't that far from the truth, to be honest. I think we had heroin and commas, one of the answers, yeah. So we will be playing those games all Saturday as well. I've got a list of 8 games that I want to try. Some of them we've already played, like Drawful, Murder Trivia Party, Fibbage. But there's a couple we haven't tried, so I'm going to give them a go as well, including one which is up to 100 players, which is called Lie Swatter, where I think you just have to guess if it's a lie or if it's the truth or a lie. But 100 people can join in, so that'll be quite interesting. I started printing the cases for the Retro Pies as well, which, well, we know Andy's going to win one. I'm not sure. I think Steps is pretty much going to win unless SP can do a major comeback this stream. But it would have to be one hell of a comeback. Yeah, I started printing the new cases, so these are the black cases, but for some reason the print shifted halfway through, so I don't know, you probably can't see that actually on camera, but there's like or maybe you can just about here. There's a shift where everything's shifted over a little bit, so I'm going to reprint them tomorrow. Thankfully, I've got lots of black, so it's fine. But it looks and feels really nice. The kind of the galaxy black is a really nice color, so looking forward to getting those printed. I'll try and get one fully printed by tomorrow. If not, then there's always the red one as well, so I can always give this one out instead, which is mine. But I don't mind having a black one if somebody wants the red one. So there's always that one if I'm having trouble printing. Printing that PS5 takes time too. Yeah, C64 blue would be good, wouldn't it? Dark blue and light blue. That would be kind of cool. I can't wait. When I move, I'm really looking forward to having my 3D print set up properly and, being able to do a bit more than I'm doing at the moment. It's a little bit awkward at the moment because it's right next to my computer, which means it gets noisy and warm. So I tend not to have it on that often at the moment. But it will be in its own room eventually. So what's that? Some other secret thing, I imagine, if it's games. Interesting. I'm not sure what that is. Bit of Super Mario Land. Okay, so we're going to do Cecconoid tonight. We're just going to try and blast through as much of it as we can. We were just looking at the the final bits of the Robotron room, which was basically the star kind of award. I'm not going to do much with it. Yeah, I'll give you. You can tell Steps is on the ball tonight. I'm not going to do very much with the stars. It doesn't have to be efficient. Doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to be. That's all it needs. We're using dynamic code loading from the cartridge, so it's really not. It doesn't really matter how inefficient it is, and it doesn't have to be the fanciest kind of routine either. Well, I'll show you where we're at, and I'll explain what we're going to do. Let me get the actual bit that I'm working on. So it's a dynamic code piece. It's the Robo Prize bit here. And let me start the races for you all. Hopefully you've had a good day today. And hopefully you're all ready for the big... there's that one there. The big Saturday stream. It's going to be a lot of fun, I think. I'm really looking forward to it. I've got I did some marble races today. Actually, I'll go through how the giveaway is going to work, so I'll explain that. So you've seen us do the marbles on stream before. It's going to be exactly that same kind of program. It's going to be the marbles on stream. Steps got that one very quick as well. Yeah, I think Steps has won it, hasn't it? I mean, you'd need to get 10 at very, very quick speeds, I think, to beat him. But you never know. You never know. So yeah, we'll be using marbles on stream like we have been doing for a few of the giveaways. They've kind of been test runs for this moment. The difference is going to be that instead of a single race, it's going to be at least 4 races. So what I'll do when we start the stream, I've got one race that I definitely want to pick just because it's kind of Christmassy themed, if you like, or at least winter themed. Thank you, Skunk Monkey, for the sub. Appreciate it. Where's my drink? There it is. Cheers. So I'll pick that track, and then I'll pick 3 tracks at random. There's a button to pick 3 tracks. There'll be a leaderboard. If you come in the first, I think it's 10 slots. The first 10 get some points. It's kind of like a Grand Prix. You get some points if you come in the top 10. After 4 races, if there's a clear leader, that leader has won the PS5. If there is a tie for first place after 4 races, we will just keep playing races until there is a clear leader. Now, that means if you are tied for first after 4 races, you aren't guaranteed... it isn't guaranteed to go to one of those 2. Somebody in 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, or whatever could win the 5th race and gain first place. So we'll just keep going until we have a clear leader on the leaderboard. But there will be at least 4 races, and the races will be random. So I did some checks today about how the leaderboard works. I've got it all set up so it will work properly. He said it was fixed. I would win. You wish. And I will be spamming the hell out of well, I wouldn't say I'd be spamming the hell out of it, but I'd appreciate if people could share the link around and stuff. I know you all want to win it, but it would be good to get some subs based on it as well. I think we've had a couple, and I expect there'll be maybe a couple on the night because the stream title will say PS5 giveaway, so there will be that as well. Yeah, just looking, there's a handful, and there's a few gift sub kind of rounds that have gone out. So, and at the moment, we've got 67 subscribers. I don't expect all of them will be there, so your chances are pretty good still. But I'd expect maybe 40 or 50 people in the races. So, we shall see. We shall see how it works anyway. But yeah, that will be at Saturday, and we'll be doing that draw at midnight as well. So we'll play games until midnight, and then at midnight we'll put marbles on stream on, and we'll just play until there's a clear winner. Like I say, 4 races. After 4 races, we'll take a look at the leaderboard. If there's a clear winner, they've won the PS5. If not, we'll keep doing races until you do. The one thing I will say is, if you are happy to pay customs charges, then please by all means enter. If you are worried that custom charges may be too much, unfortunately, I'm not going to pay the customs charges. For a start, I can't really do that because it has to be done at your end rather than at my end. But secondly, I don't know how much it's going to cost. I think the shipping is probably going to be the big sting, but I pay for worldwide shipping, so it doesn't matter where in the world you are, I will ship it to you. But just be aware you do need to cover the customs costs. I will keep a record of the leaderboard in case somebody wins it and decides that they don't want, for some reason they don't want to pay the customs charges or whatever, and then it will go to the second place and third place and so on and so on. If it's a joint in second and third or whatever, I will come up with a random system to just pick one at random. But hopefully it won't be. Hopefully everybody who enters understands it. I will say it a lot on the night as well to make sure. We'll also be giving away some custom keycaps as well that Cosman has done. So we've got a couple. I can't remember what he said now. I think he's sent 3 through. Hang on, I should get them tomorrow. Yeah, three caps with spirals on them. So their custom charges for London should be pretty reasonable. Yes, indeed. Also, the other thing I will say about that is I know some countries' postal services aren't great, so it is I will try and post by something like DHL or something like that, something that's kind of a reputable courier, worldwide courier, and I will put the full value of the item on the form and pay whatever insurance is needed as well. So hopefully it should be all right, but it is at the mercy of the delivery services as well. So just a little disclaimer there. It should be fine though, I think, for most people. I don't think anybody's living in kind of, I don't know, what's a bad place for post? Well, the UK for one. I mean, our postal service is terrible. I hate it. Doncaster, yeah, just Doncaster. Antarctic, yeah. I don't think we've got anybody living in the Antarctic. No one's here from the ISS, are they? It would be a bit expensive shipping it to space. Okay, let's begin. So we're just going to do we're going to finish this Robotron room off, and then we'll just work on whatever we can find within the program to do next. I kind of want to do it room by room. This room is working. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, there's nothing needed on this room. I do need to get rid of that border flash though. There's probably little bits of optimization we can do here and there. For instance, I can see that the decals on the walls are only appearing down here and not up here. But that's just an optimization thing, and it's not a huge deal. But I'll do that pass towards the end. I just want to get everything functional first. So we'll work on this room. The palette looks really bright on this. So you can see we've spawned these 6 stars. At the moment, they're just static. So all I want them to do is just move out ever so slightly and drop at the same time. So the way we're going to do that is we've already spawned them in this arc. All we're going to do is we're going to use the same kind of calculation to work out what the kind of vector, the movement vector is for each of these. And we're just going to set them to initially just move outwards in a certain direction. For now, they're just going to move in that direction. They will have a life eventually, so they will die off and fade to black. But for now, we're just going to move them out in one direction. Then once they're moving, we'll start adding some gravity to it. So every frame will just adjust the vectors so that they start falling, and we'll also add some friction from the side so they don't continually go out. So they'll kind of fall like a firework, if you like a firework will explode out and then slow down, so they'll kind of explode outwards and drop. Hopefully that's the idea anyway, but we shall see how it works. Right, let's get a bit more of this in me. Are these sprites? Yes, these are sprites. And there you go. Duxter has just added 10 more people to the draw. Thank you, Duxton, for the 10 gift subs to Octums, to Kenneth Mirror, to Russell Mills, Husky Puppers, Wownky, Minotaurus 985, Retrovert, Arcade Man, Seriously MS, and Mythical Duck. So, whether your sub has been gifted, whether you bought it yourself, whether you're tier 1, 2, 3, X, Y, Z, it doesn't really matter. Prime subs also count. If you're subbed and you're in the stream on Saturday, around about midnight, you're in with a chance of winning the PS5. So, the secret is all of those accounts with Boxer's Halts, yeah. Sorry, just refreshing this screen. Just, yeah. So yeah, just make sure you're in the stream, or indeed, you know, if you want somebody else to log on, if you can't make it, by all means. I mean, it's entirely up to you if you want to share your account with somebody, but if you share it with like a family member or something like that, and they can do it for you, you can get them to just join in. It's as simple as typing play !play when you're told to. That's all you really need to do. The one other thing I will mention is in the games on Saturday, because we're doing the PS5 giveaway. I can't guarantee that the people that join the stream will have good intentions or not. So the games that we play on Saturday through Jackbox, they're all going to have the Twitch login turned on. So you will need to log into Twitch through Jackbox when you join on your phone, and this is just so that the name on screen matches the name in the game. Basically, the name in the game matches the name in the Twitch. Then if anybody is kind of posting nasty stuff, we can ban them from the stream. There'll also be auto moderation will be turned on as well. So things like there'll be profanity filters and things like that. So, but I'll try and keep them kind of mild. So it will just be like really extreme words that will be that will be banned. And I'm looking at potentially adding moderation to them as well. It depends on how many people join. It may be that we just get the usual crowd, and that's fine. The profanity filter won't be in Twitch chat. It will be in the game. There's some profanity filters in some of the games. So when I have the option to do that, I will put them in. When I have the option to turn Twitch logins on, I will do that. And when I have the option to add moderation, I will do as well. I'm not sure how the moderation works. I need to look that up because it would be a bit shit if I could see everybody's answers before they appear on the screen. So we shall see. How does it block? I'm not sure. It probably warns you. That you it probably warns you that you can't type that thing. No, I don't think it's for. I don't think if it's just for like swear words. I think it's for like really extreme, like racist things. Stuff that's kind of bannable on stream. Basically, I mean, swearing on stream is absolutely fine, but there's certain things you definitely cannot say and you cannot show on screen. So stuff like that will be blocked, I think, automatically. I'm going to do some tests anyway before. So but somehow hot tubs are still okay. I know it's weird, right? All right, let's have a look. So the thing spawns here. These 6 stars spawn around it. Now these are all sprites. The multiplexer handles it because I think it does a split here. So these 2 are probably being reused here. This is a sprite as it moves down the screen. It's not when it's at the bottom. Yeah, I really need to get rid of that. So all we need to do is just make these fade out because everything else on this screen is working now. Well, apart from the number of Robotrons. So let's first of all see if I can find that. Where did I actually just type? I typed in that filter. Okay. Just want to see where I've actually done this because I've definitely got yeah, there we go, destroyable. It's this thing here, I believe. I should probably delete these and then there's less of them show up in the find results. Debug is fine. That's cold start. I'm not sure what that's about. I'll leave that for now. That's probably okay. So it's in here that we're doing it. So we've got some Y-pos, we've got Y-pos fractions, X-pos and X-pos fractions. So at the moment, the fractions are doing nothing. All we're doing is when we display these things, which should be in here somewhere. It's probably a star update or something like that. Well, I'll find it in a minute, but we're just going to grab these X-pos and Y-pos, and we already have direction X and direction Y, and at the moment they're set to random values. So what we're going to do is, instead of setting them to random values, we're going to do something very similar to this. So I'm going to copy that. In fact, I might make this a function instead, because then it's easy for me to pass a value in and get the same value at this end here as well, and we can just adjust it. So yeah, I'll make that a function, I think. So I'll do that up here. I'll say get arc X, I think, and get arc Y. So all the function does is it will return a value. So all we're going to do is we're going to pass in a value from 0 to 1. So I'll call it val, and it's going to return a value. So let's take a look at this. So this is our X here. Let's have a look what we've actually got, and let's break it down into something that we can use in here and make it reusable. Okay, so this is the bit that we're interested in here. And you can kind of see how we're doing this. We're actually pressing a value from 0 to 0.5 in here, which is what this is here. And then this is just adjusting it to be in that kind of angle that we had. And this is the multiplier. So if I take this section here, if I got another window, yeah, I thought I had. If I take that section out and put it in here, and then I can just put val in here. And there we go. I'll get arcx. And then we can use this same thing to work out what the direction is as well, so we don't have to do it twice. How do you come up with those sine cos values? I just kind of do it in my head. So I've done a lot of, yeah, it's just one of those things. You kind of get used to what they do after a while. And this is kind of on the simplest kind of format. What we're actually doing here is a circle, basically. So yeah, as Nicomo says, it's just creating a circle. So if you want to do a circle, you basically take all the angles in the circle, do a sine and a cos of them, and multiply them by your radius, and that gives you the x and y positions of the dots on your circle. And then all you have to do is to relocate it. You just add a value to them to move the center around. And this is all this is doing. So pi times 2 is how many radians are in a circle. Val is a value from 0 to 1. So if we pass a value of 0 in, we get a value at 1 point on the circle. If we pass 0.5, we get a point on the other side of the circle, 0.25, and so on and so on. And this here is just shifting the value round. So this is when we first did it, it was kind of the semicircle was not straight, it was kind of tilted. So this is just tilting the circle round a little bit, just rotating it around so it's in the right place. But yeah, this is something I actually learned. This is one of the first things I learned with BBC Basic, actually. Learning how to do, learn how to draw circles out of dots and stuff and things. It was kind of interesting. Evening, Colerig. How you doing? Hey, Zendar as well. And once you kind of figure out that all you're doing is you're taking a sine wave like that, and you're taking a cosine wave like that, and you're pushing one on the x and one on the y, and what happens is if you put them both way, if you overlap both waves and put a dot where they meet, then you get a circle as it goes around the 360 degrees. And then what you can learn is actually if you shrink that down, so if you do the x twice as fast, so now you're going round the circle twice in the x but only once in the y, you get a figure of 8. Because now what you're doing is you're doing a full circle, but as you're going round, you're doing 2 full circles as you're going round 1 circle in the y. So just after a while, you kind of get the hang of what they all do. It's just practice, really. Once you've done it enough, it becomes second nature. You don't really have to think about it very much. So this is the function we're going to call. We're going to pass in this value here, and we should get exactly the same thing at the other end. So, but now what we have is we have a function that we can use to also generate the don't need that. We have a function that we can use to generate the that's one too many brackets there, to generate the directions as well, because we're going to base them on the same inputs. So we're going to pass the same inputs in, but we're going to set different radiuses here. I mean, what we could do is if you put a radius in here, and now it will output that value. So if I put 28 in here, we've simplified it a little bit further. We could put an offset in, but I don't think we really need to. It's kind of obvious that the offset is doing what it's doing. So, okay, cool. So if we run that, we should get exactly the same thing out the other end. Great, really great graphics is playing with the values. Yeah, exactly. Do you know the way to think about it? One way that I always think about this is if has anybody played with Spirograph on 138? What's the bar for on one? What are you on about? What's the bar for on one? Oh yeah, it's just the mouse doing that. Yeah. Spirograph is a good way of thinking about how sine and cosine works. So if you put if you get the spirograph, so you get the big outer cog, and then you get the cogs that go on the inside. If you put a dot right, if you put a hole right in the middle of that inner cog and draw, you'll get a circle. That's because the x and the y are exactly the same ratios, right? So the ratio of x to y on that circle, the radius x radius and y radius on that circle are exactly the same. As you move that out towards the edge, the ratio changes, so you're getting more x to less y, and then when you go round, you get the different patterns and stuff. So, and that's basically what happens with sine and cosine. So it's a good way to kind of think about how it might work. So if you really want to make a crazy pattern, yeah, until the cog slips. Yeah, exactly. If you really want to make a crazy pattern, you'll have a very large ratio. So you'll have a ratio that's like 100 on one side and 1 on the other side, and that will give you 100 spikes to your flower as you go around. Because for every rotation in every full rotation in one direction, you're only doing a fraction in the other. So it's all about the ratios on there. Of course, then you got some weird shapes as well. You got some like ellipse ones as well that went in, or very odd ones. Yeah, but yeah, it's a good way of thinking about it. Thank you for the sub, Amok. Appreciate it as ever. 29 months. Wow. It's like that kid's drawing. It's exactly what I'm saying. It's called Spirograph in the UK. I don't know what it's called in the in other countries, but yeah, it's exactly like that. And that's what these patterns are. They're just those kind of patterns. So, and by changing these ratios here, you can change things. So, by changing this value, you change how many degrees get updated. So, anyway, I digress. Let's carry on. But it's a good way about thinking about it. So. I mean, I wouldn't use a spirograph to plan your demo sinuses, but you can kind of think of it like them, and then it helps you understand the logic a little bit of what's going on. Okay, cool. There we go. So it's doing exactly the same thing. That's because our function is basically doing what we were doing before. We've just replaced it here. But now what that means we can do is we can use that to kind of set these dx and dy values. So we're going to need dx, dy, and dx fractional. Actually, we probably don't need fractional. I think if we just do everything as fractionals, if we do the dx and dy as fractional values, we should be all right. So what we'll do is we'll do get arc x, and we put the same value in here that we had before. That has to be exactly the same. And our radius this time will be 255. So we'll set a radius. So our direction is going to be the force that we're pushing the star in each direction will be between 0 and 255, which will be a fractional value that will add to the frac value here, which when it overflows will increase or decrease these values in here. So so we'll set a radius of 255, and then we do the same here. Get arc y. So there we go. So now we've got stars that are pointing in a particular direction that will move roughly just one fraction less than a pixel every frame. But they should, yeah, pendulum's another good example of it as well. So yeah, a pendulum with no loss of motion. I mean, eventually it will lose kind of momentum, and it will start to decline its orbits. But if you could get one that never lost momentum, then depending on the direction you first push it is the pattern that you'll get. So if you just push a pendulum straight towards the middle, force it towards the middle, you'll just get a straight line. If you push it with an equal x and y kind of vector from the middle, you'll get a circle. If you push it with kind of different, you'll get a different thing. It's pretty much the same. So pendulums are really cool. I saw a really nice thing. I think it might have been on QI, I think. If you get pendulums of different lengths and you move them all out and let go of them all at exactly the same time, they swing, but because of the different lengths, they swing at different speeds. But they do it does a really cool pattern, and eventually it comes back and it all winds up again, and it moves in perfect harmony again, and then carries on. It's a really, really cool effect. It looks amazing. I definitely recommend looking at that at some point. It's just cool to look at. So okay, so we've got the star X and the star DX and DY. Planet simulations. Who was this talking? I was talking to someone about that. I can't remember who it was. Somebody was talking about whether or not you could do orbital simulations easily with an 8-bit machine. It's like, yeah, of course you can. Obviously, the more bodies you put in there, the more. Oh, we got that one. SP wants to catch up. Oh, it's Mythical Duck, yeah. Oh no, it was Mythic that got it. Okay. I thought you were talking about the orbital stuff. Okay, so now we're looking. Where are the stars being drawn? So somewhere in here, we will be drawing the stars. I think we draw them at the beginning, and I don't think we update them again. Okay, yeah, we draw them here, and we don't update them. So what we need is in the update function, which we have here. If the pod speed is y branch, so we need to do the star updates first. So that's what this is here. So we'll jump to star update, and we'll put that here. Okay, so star update is pretty simple. We need to do two things. First of all, we need to update the star positions, like gravity, and we'll call it horizontal friction. I mean, it's not really horizontal. Well, I guess it is. I guess it is friction. Yeah, let's just call it friction. But we're only going to apply that horizontally because we don't really care about the vertical friction because gravity is going to overcome vertical friction anyway. But we do need a way so that if you throw something forward, it doesn't go forever. The air resistance would make it slow down. So we're going to apply a slowdown to the value as it comes this way. I will have a think about how we're going to do that. I'm not entirely sure what the sneakiest way to do this would be. I mean, we could just reduce it by 1 all the time, but I'm pretty sure we can do it with some other techniques like divide by 8 and subtract that from the original value, that sort of thing. So we're doing like a times 0.875 or whatever it would be, which would slowly reduce it over time. Gravity, however, we will just add a value every frame. Friction is a bit different because we need to reduce it depending on whether it's negative or backwards. And then finally, we need to draw the stars. So we'll start by drawing the stars every frame because that's going to be the easiest thing for us to do. It's also going to allow us to confirm that we've done everything else correctly. So let's take this here. So we've got a loop here for the stars. It's probably not what we need, but we can strip it down to what we need. All right, so what do we need to do? Okay, we need to grab the index, this one here, star indices. Okay, so is that what it is? Yes, star indices. So the star indices are the values of the multiplexer sprites that we need. So we're going to start by grabbing that value, and we're going to use Y to count it down. So Y is our current star, X is our indices that we want to change. And now all we need to do is we need to grab, we don't need any of those. We don't need that. We just want to grab our XPOS and our YPOS, and we want to store them in XPOS, YPOS in the multiplexer. We've set X here, so we're going to use X here to set the multiplexer, and then all we have to do is decrease Y. And as long as it's still positive, go back, otherwise return. Okay, so that's that side done. Nice and simple. Let's confirm that's working. Let's do a little bit at a time, keep confirming it each time. A good tune, this, I like it. I had a really good idea for a puzzle game today as well, but I really don't have time to do it. So I'm going to hold on to the idea, and I may do it as a charity stream next year sometime, because it's a relatively simple idea, but it's another one where we can design the levels as a group. So it's something I thought about a long time ago, and I just kind of rethought about it today, and I think it's definitely workable as a nice puzzle game. So maybe I'll draw the graphics for it or something. Want a GBA port? Yeah. How's that going as well? I've not played through the last version that Jamie sent me, but it looked really good the last time I saw it, and I believe it's going to go out next year, right? I mean, it's probably a bit late to send it out this year, but yeah, I'm looking forward to getting the box of that. It'd be really cool. Okay, cool. So, I mean, we're doing an update. It's not doing anything to these, so it's absolutely fine. You want me to remove the SRAM save feature, so I did that last night, so it supports the level codes. Okay, cool. Oh, is that because of the cart format? Yeah, I think the carts that we've been getting don't have the SRAM save on it. I think we can get them with them on, but from what I gather, they can be a bit flaky as well. So, and they're a bit more expensive as well. So, yeah, I know they're a bit more expensive, but yeah, I mean, Jamie does a really good job of sourcing all the stuff, and both Jamie and Darren as well. Actually, Darren does a really good job of the artwork as well. So, looking forward to playing it. So. Okay, right. So what do we want to do? We want to update the star positions. So we're going to do the same thing. We can do this all in one loop, actually. There's no real need for us to be doing this separate, 3 separate loops. We might as well do it all in one loop. So we're just going to use Y as our position. in the star array, if you like. And then we'll go through each of these. So apply gravity we'll do last. We'll just make sure that we can actually move the stars. So what do we need to do? Okay, well, we need to work out, first of all, I just thought these values actually need to be 127. And the reason for that is because they can be negative as well. So in fact, let's get rid of this. That damn it, I figured out a way of doing a really simple way of adding two numbers, and I can't remember what the hell it was now, to make sure that you can add a negative number to a 16-bit number. Oh fuck, what was it now? I can't remember. All right, let me just start doing it. All right, so you take this value. Actually, let's do it this way around. No, let's do it this way around. And it's not that, it's oh, damn it, I had this in my head the other day and I've forgotten it again. This is one of the things I always forget. I always have to look it up and I can't remember where I found it, but okay, so what do we want to add? We want to add our star dx value, comma y, and we'll store that here. And you'll see why this is going to be a problem in a minute. Let's just let's do the positive direction, and you'll see what I mean. So then we need to take. Okay, so this looks like it would be all right, but the problem with this is if this number is negative, what's going to happen? It's going to overflow, but then this is going to increase. It's going to go kind of the wrong way. So, oh, is this what I think it is? Oh, that's cool. No, it's not exactly what I think it is, but that's pretty damn cool. I got to get something like that for my wall. So, okay. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Okay, so I'll show you what happens with this. You'll see if the stars move in a positive direction. So they're only going to move on the X at the moment, which means the ones at the top probably aren't going to move. So we're not doing any Y movement here at the moment. Also, it's not working. Why is it not working? Have I got the wrong? Oh, because it's capital P's. That's why. All right. This is good tune as well. I like this. It's a cool mix. Hey, Prince Phase. Silicon. I might have to. What I'd really like to get is a really high resolution black and white version of that, and do what's it called now? Is it called photo etching, where you get you get some substrate that's got copper in it, but it's got a coating on it which can be photo etched, so you can create a copper version of it. But it would need to be super high res because I'd like to do it like that, because then you've got like copper tracks and it would just look amazing, I think. But it's one for the future anyway. Maybe I'll do it, maybe I won't. So you can see how they're all moving in the same direction, and that's wrong. They should be moving in different directions. And the reason for that is because we actually need to be doing a subtract here for negative values. Or actually what we need to be doing is, if this value is negative, we need to be doing this differently. Now, I can never remember the proper way to do this, so I'm going to look this up, because 6502 add 8-bit signed to 16-bit unsigned. It's just one of those things I always forget, so yeah, this is it. Let's comparisons. By subtraction. No, that's not the one I want. That's a good site though. That actually, let me share that with you because I've seen this one before. This is a really good way of doing comparisons. So it's not the one I was looking for. Oh, is it the overflow flag? Is that what it is? Is it the overflow? I think. I need to see. Oh, there we go. Don't you just add plus sign, add FF to MSB plus sign? I mean, carry that. If it's FF and I've got 0 here, it's going to go backwards. But that means we're not going to see. This needs to be subtract at this point. You see. We'll find this. I had this, and it was really the version I saw was really similar. I'm sure we've done it before as well. Oh, okay. Here we go. That would be something for a macro. Yes, I'm gonna. Problem is, it's going to be hard with these, but let me just copy this in here. So this is from CSDB. Oh, has it got a colon on there? I guess that's a branch. Okay. So basically, what it's doing is it's taking this. Oops. This value here and adding our delta to it. And then it's comparing the delta to see if it's equal to 0, if the sign bit is set. Yeah, I will give you points. Not that it really matters at all, but I will give you points. Shall I just give you shitloads of points because it really doesn't fucking matter anymore, does it? I'm gonna give you 25. Fuck it. There you go. Just so you can be high up on the list. Make yourself feel really good. It would take some impressive all right. Every helpful answer tonight gets a bumper prize, starting with the 25 for Andy. I'll decide where it fits, but because I had to actually look this up and Andy was right, I think yeah, I think that's worth a 25. Yeah, it could be a macro, but the problem is because of these values that I've got here, it's going to be quite hard to do it as a macro because I'm using indexed modes here, so it's not going to be super easy to do that. Oh yeah, how is Jasmine? Get well soon, Jasmine, as well. You did ask me to say that, so there you go. Hope she's okay. She seemed very happy in the photo that you posted before, so I assume she's not too bad at all. Right, there we go. Okay, so and this is our This will be fine. I mean, yes, it probably could be macroed, but to be honest, the effort required to do this for now is probably not needed. In fact, I would rather not do a macro so I can learn this and remember it, because I'm terrible at remembering it. So, I'd assign 8-bit delta to a 16-bit value. Yes, okay, so this is exactly what I need. Yeah, I need to remember how to do this because I use it so much. And I always end up doing like weird branch stuff instead, and I shouldn't be doing. Okay, so let's just write above what it's doing. Add signed 8-bit to unsigned 16-bit. Okay. Let's give that a run. She's all cleared and stone. She's very stoned in the fire. That's why, yeah, she did look kind of extra happy, if you like. Yeah, try some later. Try some later and tell me what it's like. I assume it's some kind of opiate type stuff if it's from an operation. It usually is, isn't it? I forget what the one they give us is called. Yeah, it's usually opiate based. Okay, so we've got stars going in all sorts of weird directions now. Let me slow them right down because now I'm worried that they're moving too fast. So let me just slow them right down so we can just make sure that they're moving correctly. Oh, morphine, yeah. That's the one. I remember when my cat, one of my previous cats bit me, and I went into the hospital, and they gave me morphine. It was great. I loved it. Okay, they're moving too fast, so there's obviously something a bit wrong here. Let's have a quick look at what's going on. So we take our delta, we add it to our fractional value, and then we store our fractional value. And that's exactly what that is doing there. If 0, add 0 plus carry, else add f plus carry. Okay. Yeah, why is that not behaving correctly then? What's going on there? Now I'm starting to doubt that these values are correct. So let me just put some values in here. So just for x for now, let's just do some tests. So in fact, I get rid of that. So let's make the first three go backwards at different speeds. So let's do, and then these ones forwards at different speeds. Just want to confirm that the values are right. So, hey, Sean. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I caught my cat having a pee in the kitchen sink yesterday. Well, Catherine did, which I'm both kind of a little bit mortified by, but at the same time kind of proud of her for not doing it on the sofa. I think she goes through kind of periods of heat like quite a lot, and whenever she's like that, she's really fussy with the litter tray. Thanks for the sub, Sean. Cecconoid, yeah. And like she's peed on the couch and stuff before, and I've always been like, I don't really shout at her or anything. I don't tell her off. I just kind of deal with it and clean it up. But she started like we caught her in the sink the other day, and I'm pretty sure she peed in the sink, like right down the plug hole, which is kind of awesome. So I'm kind of both mortified because it's the kitchen sink, but also like proud of her for not doing it on the couch or anything. No, that's the thing. I couldn't smell it, and the thing is when she's on heat, I think she just pees a lot anyway, and I think it's just lots of water. There's not really anything in it. It's quite mild, so I couldn't smell anything, but I did run the tap for a while as well. But yeah, I mean that's why I was kind of mortified. It's like she's peeing in the kitchen sink. That's not good. Um, but yeah, male cats are awful. Male cat, especially when it mixes. Okay, yeah, look, they're not behaving correctly. Something weird is going on here. I'm not sure what, but something very odd is going on here. Like one is moving fine, and then the others aren't. So I think the original code was correct. I'll leave this in here for now. Let's just have a quick look, see if I can see what am I doing wrong here. So I've got the Y value here. I never reload the Y value, and okay, I can see what I'm doing wrong. It's my own fault for not labeling loops properly. Well, that's weird. I wonder. Yeah, I wonder what. It might be the things they eat as well, because they're quite fussy with their foods. They all like different foods, which is really frustrating for me. There we go. Perfect. All right. Okay, cool. So we've got that working. It was just I was doing the looping correctly. So let's get rid of this. And let's double check everything's there. You don't add to the fraction at the end. No, I do, I think. Hang on, let me check. Add the fractional value here. And yeah, and then because it's only an 8-bit value to a 16. So a 16-bit value is xpos and xpos frac. And then the 8-bit value is star dx here. So we just need to do that again for y. And yes, this is definitely where a macro would help. But as I say, with the added complications of indexed values, it's not going to be super easy to do. So, and I don't care about memory at all on this. So, plastic chairs, hairbands, and occasion keyboard switches. Yeah. So one of the things that is going to be different when I move is the computer room is going to be computer and gaming room all in the front. The front room is basically going to be my computers, consoles, TV, everything all in one room. But it's also going to be where the cats wander. So we'll probably see cats more on the stream than we have done in the past because they'll be wandering around. But it also means I've got to be really careful how I set things out so that the cats don't destroy stuff. Okay, so let's see. We should be able to have Y movement now as well, and hopefully now these will move out. The radius of the semicircle will just expand now. That's the aim anyway. And then we just need to add gravity and a lifetime to them. Yeah, there they go. They're moving. So they're moving a bit slow at the moment, but that's deliberate. That's absolutely fine. But you can see they're moving out properly now. So we're just going to speed them up a little bit. So this is basically the speed here. In fact, let's make that a constant. So oops. Let's make it 60. So that's 5 times faster than they currently are. And now we just need to apply gravity. So we'll start by where was it gone? Where's the star update gone? Here it is. So let's do this 2 at a time. Actually, we will apply gravity, apply friction, sorry, 1 at a time. And then we'll also lifetime. So one other thing we're going to do here is we're going to set a life value. So all the stars are going to have a life value in here as well. So, and we're going to use this to fade the stars out so that they fade out at the right time. Now it's going to start with 255, but I will set them in a loop as well, just in case. So. Star life sounds like some kind of, I don't know. Oh, it's ticking down. What is that? Metal Slough 2. Yeah, I've got 3 of them. I don't know what that is. It looks familiar. It's PC Engine as well. Yeah, I probably have played this then at some point. I don't recall what it is. Liking the nice bright palette on it anyway, whatever it is. It's Psychosis. Oh, never heard of it. Probably have played it though. That's the thing. I tried a lot of the shoot 'em up games on that when I first got it. So okay, let's do the gravity first. So the gravity is really simple. All we're going to do with that is we're going to take our dy value, and we're going to increase it. So if it's a negative number, it will tend. So if it's actually, we need to have a terminal velocity here. So let's compare this to 7F. Or let's compare it to. Hang on, we need to work out. Yeah, compared to 7F, we'll make it 7F for now. All right. And we'll just add 1 each frame. So that's the maximum it'll ever be. And then all we need to do here is just increment this value. So what will happen is if the number is negative, that negative number will decrease, and if the number is positive, it will increase until it reaches this value. If it's already at that value, it won't move any further. So that's all we need to do to apply some gravity. So let's have a look at that and see what happens. We might need to change the speed of gravity kind of implementation. Adding 1 doesn't sound like it will be enough. I don't think that's going to work, is it? It's going to have to be. Yeah, it's handy in negative numbers. You see now they're dropping down, and they'll continue to drop down until they reach that terminal velocity. So I think what I need to do is if let's put 1 here. Let's put skip here. Right. So what we'll do, if this number is negative, we'll jump to here, because if the number is negative, we can still keep adding. Otherwise, if we've reached this value or above, we skip. So basically, if we're in the last 16 values, then we skip. Otherwise, we can add here, and this is so we'll add a gravity here. We'll do 04, and this needs to be max 0F. And the reason it needs to be max 0F is that we don't skip over that zone where it would reach maximum velocity. I say this code does not need to be pretty. It doesn't need to be super efficient. It doesn't really need to be anything. It just needs to fit into memory, and it's dynamically loaded. So it's really not a problem. There we go. Why is speed in decimal when you've been watching John's stream? That's a good point, actually. Let's change that. What's 3C, isn't it? Yeah. Take care, Cult of Rig. Thanks for joining. I mean, that's no. I'm not going to give you AMK points for that. Let's give the others a slight chance of catching up. There we go. I think they still need to move a bit faster. They're not quite fast enough. So that's fine. What we can do is we can change this to this. We can make this maximum like that. And then we just have to change where our max velocity is. Now, the problem is it's probably because the stars are... Actually, no, let's keep it like that. It's probably more to do with the fact that the stars can only update... less than a pixel per frame. So I'll just call it multiple times. Again, it really doesn't matter. There's not a lot going on the screen at this point, so the fact that I call star update 3 times doesn't really matter. No, I'm going to make him work harder for it. I'm lazy as well, hence the triple star update. I could just make a 16-bit value, but whatever. There we go. Okay, so there is a little bit of a flicker as it crosses this because of the way the multiplexer works. So in that case, I don't want it to be too... I want the box to drop faster, so just need to make sure it doesn't cross over with it. They'll fade out as well at some point. There we go, perfect. You see, by the time it meets up with the thing, it's already been turned from sprites into characters, so it's fine. So all we need to do now is add friction. So friction is a little bit different. So we've got a value in here, and it's either going to be positive or negative. So we can't just add a value to it because then things will just move in one direction. What we need to do is we need to multiply this value by something. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a times 0.875, which sounds really complicated, but the easiest way to do this is we take this value and we shift it to the right 3 times. So we've divided it by 8. So now this value is divided by 8. So we'll store it in what we're going to call div 8. And then we're going to take this value again. And we're going to subtract div 8. And this is doing the same as multiplying a value by 0.875, roughly. I mean, it will do some kind of rounding and flooring of values because of the way that the shift works. But it also means that when we get down to a certain value, it will move inwards towards 0, basically, and it won't cross over either way. So it might be too quick, this though. So we might have to spruce it a little bit more. You can fade them by removing pixels and doing... Yeah, we could do that. That might be a nice way of doing it. I was just going to fade them out to black, but it's not a bad idea. I'll have to have a look at that. Okay, they're still moving, but they should... Why aren't they slowing down? I guess they reach a point where they can no longer subtract values from it, so... so even though we're multiplying by this, it reaches a point where the divide by 8 no longer has any... It's always 0, so... How's that done in a non-kick-ass environment? Well, you might put the label here and then store like that instead. And the reason this is beef is this, when it gets built, is just going to be that actually in memory. But the reason I put beef is so that I remember that it's self-mod. Okay, well let's do the simple lifetime thing. So the lifetime is basically we're going to take the so we can do it like this, can't we? We can just do like that, and then load it. It's probably easier than... It really doesn't matter. As I say, it really doesn't matter how we do this. And we'll compare this to 1, 0. If it's more than 1, 0, we'll skip ahead. Otherwise, we're going to do something. And then the only other thing we need to do here is Actually, we'll still do that, because that might, we still kind of have to draw it, I guess. And for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the value here and store it in. Oops. So at the moment, what this is just going to do is going to fade through. It's just going to cycle through all the colors. So at a certain point, it will cycle through all the colors. And when did that one? There it is. Did Stoller is yes, Div8 SBC. Yeah, it's this one here. Oh no, I didn't. You're right. I didn't store it. Thank you. I'm going to give you. I think that's a 25 pointer as well. Feeling generous tonight. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. Yes, I'll give GHAF some points for that. 25 to GHAF. Okay, that might actually help quite a lot. So I think they'll slow down a lot quicker now. It explains why they weren't going all the way. I mean, I don't expect them to fully stop anyway. Oh, can't do debt, Y. Okay. That's annoying. All right. I always forget you can't do that, so I still have to do this anyway. All we're expecting is, as they reach the end of their life, they'll flash all the different colors but end on black. All going in the same direction, but they did all end on black. That's good. Why are they all going in the same direction? That's weird. Hang on. Shift to the right divides it by 8. Oh, I know why. It's because what I need to do is I need to make sure that I don't have the negative value on there. Otherwise, you're basically shifting a negative value into a positive value. You end up subtracting far too much. Those ones move really fast for some reason. What's going on there? And this. Oh, because the value. All right. So if this is positive, I need to go to here. Otherwise, what I need to do is I need to EOR with FF. Which means I don't actually need to do that anymore. Right, is that right? Because if it's not quite right, is it that? Hang on, let me think about this. Also, where's the error here? Oh, the loop is too long. Okay. Okay. Oh shit, I can do that. So branch sheet minus here, otherwise jump loop. There we go. Okay, so if what I need to do in that case is I need to make sure that if this number is okay, this does need to be two ways. Because I need to negate this value again, and I probably need to, keep this. Hang on, let's subtract. Yeah, all right. So I need to do. So this is plus. I'll call this minus. I mean, this is kind of almost seems unnecessary at the moment, but so if it's minus 127, when we reduce the value, that means we need to. So let's call this A, and A, B. I feel like I'm overcomplicating this, but as I say, I don't care. It doesn't have to be pretty; it just has to work. Once this is working, I'm going to go for a break. I think I am just going to fade it out to black. It's just going to be the easiest way to do it. Saves me some effort. I can always change it later if I need to. Just want to get it working and move on to a new screen. Okay, I think they slow down way too quickly, so I'm going to do that. So this is now it's one final thing I'm going to do when it's finished, because it's a bit too symmetrical at the moment. So I'm kind of all right with that. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just change things up a little bit, and I'm going to add a little bit of randomness into the velocities. And this means every time I build, it's going to be a different value. But again, I can set these values to something that I'm happy with later. I just want to add a little bit of randomness to it, so they don't always look the same. That's kind of all right. It kind of needs to be a bit faster, though. I feel like it needs to shoot outwards much faster. So maybe I'll get rid of the friction. Maybe the friction shouldn't even be there. It's kind of unnecessary. Maybe I think let's just do that. It was a good piece of code to practice doing, but I feel like the topmost stars are too fast. They should be moving up. I think the gravity is probably too much as well. So tweak it a little bit here and there. I'm not going to do too much. I can play around with this later, but yeah, that's better. Actually, that's a lot better. But now I want them to kind of to shoot upwards a little bit more. So the initial velocity upwards, I'm going to do like that to add a bit more speed to it. Like there. Actually, no, I'm going to do that. Then this should mean that the ones at the top should be a bit slower at coming down, because they should shoot up a little bit more. They kind of move down far too quickly at the moment. But I want them to probably fade out a little bit quicker as well. It doesn't need to be. Yeah, let's slow the gravity down a little bit. And let's change the life counter to decrease 2 at a time. Which means I'm actually going to set the initial value to a. Oh, actually, I could just change that initial value. That probably makes more sense than count 2 down at a time. Way more sense. In fact, that's a stupid idea of mine to do it 2 at a time. That's much better. All right. Yeah, that's good. So they just need to fade out. And now what I'm going to do is add some slight randomness to this as well. So what I'm going to do, just like that, it might be enough if I do like times 0.1. I just want there to be not so, you know what I mean? Not so symmetrical and ordered. I want there to be a little bit of randomness to it. Like the initial positions are fine, but I need them to kind of feel a little bit more random when they fall. And they didn't feel random at all. Oh, wait, it's because that should actually be... All right, that should probably be something a bit more like... Let's just do ×1. I think I'll add... yeah, I will add constants for these values here. These need to be the same constant. So let's just add random speed or star random speed. And then this would be as long as this plus this or this plus this never exceeds 7F, we're fine. And then this one here, I guess is let's write what these are. So this is the base speed X, base speed Y, additional random range added to speed X and Y. So the higher this number is, the more random angle will be added. The higher this number is, the more random speed will be added. Yeah, they will be different after each compile. But what I can do is if I like when I'm come to testing it, if I like certain values, I can record those values and make sure that they. So we keep. I mean, it's really not a lot. It's just to add a little bit of kind of randomness to it, so it's not fully. What's the word? It's not fully kind of ordered, I think is the word I'm looking for. I want some more chaos in there. But I don't want it to, I mean, it can be subtle. See, that's too much. I think it was right the first time. I think it was right like that. Right, so the only thing I want to do is add star fade out. And all I'm going to do here is really, really simple. Is just create a fade out. So we'll start on... So we've got, what colors have we got? We've got light gray, medium gray, dark gray. So we've got 3 colors and white. Oh, and black. Okay, so we need to end on black. And then we've got 3 colors and we need to start on white. Well, actually, we don't need to start on white because the sprites are already white. So we can start on there. So if I put 5 of each of these in here, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That should do it. So star fade out. So that means if I just grab, I could add colors in there, which is something that you would normally do in a game. If you were doing this, you would add some kind of intermediary colors. Because this is Cecconoid, it's black, white, and red. That's it. And the stars have never got red on them, so I'm not going to add something that's not in the game. I want this to be as close to the game as possible, with a little bit of artistic kind of freedom in this case. You know, the format of the stars. So we don't need the fraction. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so we grab our star index here. We've got it in X. I will do that afterwards, though. What we'll do first is we'll transfer that to X, and then we'll load star. What did I actually call it? Star fade out. All right. And then we're going to load X with that, and then we're going to store it there. Okay, so now these should fade properly through grays to black. We should be done on that screen, and the only thing I need to do is re-enable all the Robotrons, and then we're done. So the only thing that's majorly different on this screen that isn't in the original is when that bonus box drops. It's a dynamically added object on this screen. So, oh, they didn't fade out there. It's a dynamically added object on this screen. So if I leave this screen and come back, it won't be there when I come back. So that's one of the only things. Also, it glitched a little bit when I went off, but that's because the way the character set works, which isn't a problem. Again, glitches like that I will come back and fix. I'm not too fussed about them. But why is this fade out not working? Okay, so if it's more than 1, 0, we can do it. So if it's 0 to F, it should be here. Star fade out, that should load. Have I done the colors the wrong way around? Maybe I did the colors the wrong way around. No, I didn't. Okay. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, no, I did do them the wrong way around. It needs to be backwards, doesn't it? All right, okay. Let's just do one character. So it needs to be dark gray at the end. Then it needs to be that, and then it needs to be light gray. 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. All right. So I'm going to take a break in a few minutes. I'll leave the quiz and race going. For those last few chances to get the points. I think it's pretty much a foregone conclusion, both for the competitions, to be honest, but perfect. So the only other thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to add a value to the life as well, so they fade out slightly differently. So what I'm going to do, call it add val, and what I'm going to do is take, oh yeah, it's this one here. Okay, so I'm going to take the value that's in the accumulator here at this point. Oh no, it's in temp character, isn't it? Add. That should do it. I'm just going to add that 3 times. No, let's do it 4 times. Again, being lazy, it really doesn't matter. This code is loaded in and then removed. So will I test it? Yeah, I'm going to do that before I go for a break. So you see that how they fade in a pattern instead. I'm going to slow it down ever so slightly though. I'm taking lazy things. So I'm going to actually turn on all the waves now as well. So the waves are nice and simple. We already had the waves set up. It wasn't that. It was in one of the screens, wasn't it? Was it screen 20? I want to say. Yeah, there we go. So this was a nice, easy screen. It just has 3 waves of 12 and nothing else. So let's see how it plays. Let's see if I can actually play it well. Oh, it didn't show all the sprites. Okay, so we have got a little bug in here. Okay, we'll have a look at that in a second. Yeah, it's not showing the sprites. So this is the same problem we had with spawning sprites before. We need to make sure that they're cleared properly. But other than that, it feels like a great screen. So we'll fix that in a minute when I come back. I'm just going to take a break, be 5 minutes, and I'll be as quick as I can. About 5 minutes, I think. And I shall leave you with a break. I'll be right back. Right, I am back. Ooh, that game looks familiar. Oh, is no, it's not. I don't want to say because oh fuck, I'll have a guess. I'm gonna be too slow, aren't I? No, because there's another game called Creatures. No, it's not. It's not at all what I thought it was. Oh, Duke got it with 1,000 to go. Very nice. I saw the word creatures in the corner, I think. So, anyway, welcome to the stream, Duke. Oh, and Hayes as well. Hey, Hayes. And thank you for the follow, Roman Shea, as well. Appreciate it. Okay, so we just need to fix that sprite issue. So let's just see exactly what's going on in this room first. Oh. Okay, cool. Oh, shit. Okay, so it seems like it's only showing 4 sprites. So that means we're hitting the multiplexer limit. Bollocks. Just trying to actually finish the screen. Ah! Oh, yeah, see, too many. Damn it. Ah, man. Okay, can't wait to wait. Thank you very much, Nicomo. Me too. I mean, it's getting there. It's playable now, which is nice. Thank you for the bits. Appreciate it. I didn't turn the quiz off, did I? Hang on. There we go. Oh, look at that extra quiz points. Oh, oh. Steps is racing ahead. I think Steps has won, to be honest. So yeah, on Saturday, I mean, I'll announce who wins it, but I think it's going to be Steps who wins this, and Andy that wins the other one as well. So, but we shall see. You never know. There won't be any quiz or races on Saturday because it's all going to be. We're just going to be playing Jackbox games all day and giving away the PlayStation. So it's going to be all focus on that. So I'm thinking of doing the marbles on stream as like a break thing anyway. So depends if I get a chance to kind of find a way to integrate it into the break. So instead of the normal race and quiz, marbles on stream will come up, and there'll be like an ongoing tournament where you'll gain points from that. So does anyone want to duel for 500k and trying to reach 1 million? All right, so we need to figure out why those Robotron spawnings are not showing sprites on the second and third rows. Now it's going to definitely be down to the multiplexer limit, which means we're probably just not clearing them up properly. So let's take a look. So here's where they spawn in. That's where they're actually added. It's going to be in the update. So spawn sprite, draw us a spawn sprite, and then something in here is going to clear it when it's done. Which I would have thought it would have been here. In fact, it's not, is it? This is the problem. We're not clearing. Oh, multiplexer clear one sprite. Okay, we are clearing it, but it doesn't seem to be doing a clear for some reason. So let's open the multiplexer up. Let's increment the border when we clear one sprite, and let's see if that actually happens. Sprites. Here we go. So we'll do a border increment here instead. Thank you, Tron. Bible thump. Thank you for the bit. Appreciate it. Always sip. It doesn't matter how many bits it is. It's always a sip. I've only got one more bottle of cider, so we're taking our time. Steps is such a gamble addict. It's terrible. All right, so hopefully the border is going to flash every time one of these things disappears, which it isn't. You notice it did not disappear then, so we're not actually hitting that. Oh no, I didn't save. Also, in the new year as well, we'll be resetting all the quiz and AMK points as well, so there'll be new opportunities to, yeah, see, they're being removed correctly, so they're just not drawing the second one. So do we see 2, 3, 4? And it's still flashing, so it is trying to draw them, and it's trying to remove them, but it's failing. So the next step here then is whenever it tries to grab one, we'll see if what it actually pumps out the other side. So let's get rid of that again, because we know that's happening. And what is this actually doing? This is setting the raster and the YPOS to FF, and it's setting the frame to 0. I mean, that should be enough. In I in 0 is I plus plus. Cheers. All right, I do need to open another cider. Well, that ball feels warped for some reason. Just the strength of my hand. I'm crushing the glass. Really not. I had a terrible headache today as well. I don't know what that's about. And here I am drinking cider like it's gonna somehow solve my headache issues. Oh, I see. No, it doesn't work like. Nice try, though. Nice try. Okay, so let's have a look when it gets a sprite. What is it actually looking for? So we're looking for a frame that's non-zero. Sorry, a frame that is 0. If it's non-zero, it goes back and tries again. If it doesn't find one, it should overwrite. I mean, this is the thing. It should, in theory, it should be correctly adding new sprites. So I'm not sure what's going on here, but something weird is happening. Could it be this? Maybe if I take this out, it might work. Let's try that. And he's convinced he's winning the PS5. It's down to the fates of the marbles. So, right, okay, so I mean, that does weird things. But let's see what happens. No, see, it's not. It's something. Something is not right here. Okay, let's have a think about this. So, when a spawn sprite is being drawn, it looks at the spawn timer, when the timer has reached 0, then it does this clear one sprite thing. Clear one sprite. Oh, pardon me. Clear one sprite takes the Y as the index, which is what this is doing here, and tries to clear the sprite, which is why we see the sprites disappear. So that's correct. The problem is when it tries to get the next sprite here, I think this is what's failing. So let's put a breakpoint in here, and every time it tries to grab one of these, we'll see what happens. Oh, actually, hang on. Draw a spawn sprite. Oh, okay. So here we're checking if it's non-zero, then it grabs a sprite and sets it up. Otherwise, if it is 0, it grabs a sprite and sets it up. If it's not 0, it goes and draws them where they should be. So let's see what happens when we run this routine, and let's see what get next sprite returns in the accumulator, which is correct. That's what we changed it to. I remember we were playing around with this routine a couple of weeks ago, and we made sure that it returned in the accumulator. Okay, so let's see what we actually get in the accumulator each time. So we're going to get 12, which are obviously going to be proper values, but we should be able to see what happens on the second wave. So our values are, oh, interesting. Wait, where is that breaking? That doesn't seem like the right place. That seems to be breaking on. Hang on. That's not the same place. That's a different place. It's like it's broken on an interrupt for some reason. Yeah, it's breaking. What? Oh, it's okay. It was something else. All right, now it's the right one. So we've got a sprite of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, back to 4, 8. Let's picking some random numbers here. And then we should be on. Right, okay. So I need to kill these. Okay. Now it's saying the spawn sprite is 11, 12, 13, 5, and then it stops getting sprites. Okay. So here's our issue, and I think the problem is this value isn't being cleared. That's all it is. There we go. That's why breakpoints are so freaking useful. See straight away that it was not doing this, which meant this comparison here was failing. So it was never spawning a new sprite. So this should be fine now. And we can move on to a new screen for the first time in months. But we're building up a really, really nice. Well, we've built up a really nice set of tools now, which should enable us to do the other screens pretty quickly. Shit, the last one killed me. There we go. Oh, it still missed one out here and there. Is that because of the sprite overlap, maybe? I'm not entirely sure. See what happens. I mean, it's definitely better, but I think there is some overlap somewhere or something. Okay, let's do that again. It might be that what we have to do is spawn them in places so that the sprites don't overlap. Because remember, we can only have 6 of those sprites on a line. So if for any reason they overlap, then we're going to be missing certain sprites. And because it's randomly selected, this could be a problem. So I need to kind of look where it's happening. Actually, let me try and slow it down a bit. Okay, so slowed it down so we can see what's happening. 3, 6. No, see, look, it was one at the bottom that didn't appear then. So it's not that. There's something else going on here. So is there anything else we need to reset on these values? Could it be a color? Could it be a time thing? 3, 6, 9. It's only showing 9 and then it's failing to show any more. Okay. Now, do we get the same effect on the initial spawn? So does the PS5 come with a game? It comes with a controller. It doesn't come with a game. It does come with I forgot what it's called. Astro's Playroom, which is kind of like a platform game, which is free when you get a PS5. Also, it sounds like Sony are going to start doing a Game Pass thing as well soon. So they've already got the PS Plus thing, which I highly recommend if you've not already got that. 3, 4, 8, 10. See, yeah, it's still missing some. It is missing some out. So I think we've not got the full optimization working on this screen. I think we've got the wrong values on it. 15 sprites. That should be enough. Let me say it to 18. What is the max number of sprites we actually have? It's a constants file. Max multiplayer sprites 14. Okay, so we'll set. So that's 14. So it's 20 the same as these values, and then it's a bit easier to understand. Yeah, the controllers are about £60. I think they're quite expensive, but yeah, there's a few free games on PlayStation Network. If you with the PlayStation 5, you get also a lot of the PS4 games. I think you get about 16 or so of the PS4 games that were enhanced for PS5. So you get like upscaled versions. So like God of War, I can't think of what they all were. Last of Us, I think, is in there. So there's stuff to play on it. So even if you don't buy a game straight away, there's plenty of stuff on there. PS Collection, that's it. Yeah, with PlayStation Network. Yeah, and you don't need PS Plus. You only need to. I think you only need to have. Yeah, this seems to be working now. 3, 6. Yeah, okay. Let's see what happens when I kill these ones. I don't think you need to have PS Plus to get the PS Collection. I might be wrong though, but PS Plus is pretty cheap and it's definitely worth it because you get free games every month. So 6. Yeah, this is working now, isn't it? All right. Okay, cool. We just needed to up the sprite count in this room. That's fine. Let's set it back to 100. It makes sense because we have got a lot on the screen. I thought I'd staggered these updates, so I honestly thought I'd staggered those things to appear at different times, but I guess not. I'll have a look at that quickly, I think, before I move on to anything else. Does the PS5 run noisy? Personally, I don't think so. I think it's much quieter than the PS4 anyway. I mean, it's hard for me to say because I can only really compare it to the PS4, which I think is quieter than, and my PC, which even though it's water cooled, is noisy because it's got 2 huge freaking radiators in it. So there's a lot of fans in my computer. There's like 12 fans in my computer, so it's quite it can be quite noisy when it's running on full tilt. But yeah, I mean, don't worry when you get the PS5, the experience out of the box is pretty decent. It's certainly a lot better than it was on the PS4, where you didn't really have anything. I mean, you had Astro's. No, that was the one that had Astro's Playroom. I don't know what this new one. Maybe it's called Astro's Playroom 2 or something. I don't know. But the other one was just like a little stupid sandbox, whereas this one's more like a platform and it teaches you how to use the pad, which actually is really nice. I really like the PS5 pads. They're really neat little thing. Oh, I've just turned it on. Fuck. Never mind. It'll turn off on its own. If I had to recommend some, we do need to remove those stars. Look. Okay, that's fine. We can do that. That's pretty easy to do. So we've got this set up here. It's the initial one, isn't it? I'm trying to find where it actually dies. So it dies here, I think, isn't it? Yeah, okay. Okay, and then otherwise what we're going to do is we're going to, which actually means this is kind of the last entry, and this is kind of pointless. So X is the value we've got here, so we're just going to transfer X to the accumulator, transfer the accumulator to Y. We do need to store the Y though, so let's store Y in rest Y. So, right, okay, that's going to fix those. What was I thinking of fixing? Oh, the staggering of these. So I thought these were going to be staggered, but it seems like they're not for some reason. So we might have to slow down the decay of these spawn things. Yeah, so we've got this spawn stagger here, and in constants, that's set to 12, so that should actually be staggered quite nicely. But it's, I guess, it's still appearing pretty quickly. So let's try changing the speed at which those run. So yeah, so this is the spawn timer in here. If I set that to half of that value instead, actually, let's go a bit less. Let's do that, and let's, when we update the timers, so this value here, we'll do it a bit quicker instead. So just need to find where that value is subtracted, which is here. See what happens. I think we're going to get weird flashing. We'll have to change the flashing and stuff, but hopefully it will. Hopefully it will stagger those spawns out a little bit and help us with the sprites. I didn't do anything. They just spawned quicker, didn't they? Let me just think about this a little bit. Okay, so let's not do that. Let's put that back to that. Okay, so what happens? They come into here. Okay. We need to check this value first to see if it's 50. If it's more than 50, hang on. If it's not equal to 0, we come to here. If it is equal to 0, we do that. All right, let's do this afterwards then. So we do it here. So we're just not going to do anything if so. So I think this was what I didn't have in before. So yeah, you've got a little robot, and the thing is, it's designed to teach you how to use the pad and all the different features. Because one of the things that takes a little bit of getting used to, probably more than anything else, is the adaptive triggers. There we go. That's perfect. Now they're staggering. One game I would definitely recommend as well is Returnal. It's kind of been overlooked a little bit, but I think it's a really, really good game. Makes really good use of the triggers as well. It's very difficult though, but it's a fun game. There we go. That's better. Now they're staggering, which means the sprites are working a bit better. That's cool. Okay, it's not got rid of the stars though. You can still see the stars. We just need to get rid of that, and then we're done. I thought I'd done that with this, but obviously not. Okay, store that there. Clear one sprite. Okay, so let's have a look. If we're not equal to 0, otherwise we come here. Right, let's increment this on. Let's see what happens. It should, in theory, increment every time one of those stars disappears. Let me just turn the Robotrons back to just 1 again, so I don't have to keep killing them all. Come back and turn them on. Can't you just RTS instead of jump to exit? Well, it is doing an RTS here. I mean, the other thing I could do is this. An RTS here, and that. I'm just saving a byte really by doing it like that. I can't just RTS here. It has to be if it's yeah. No, it's a condition. It's based on that comparison there. All right, let's see if the was it BC? Yeah, sorry, I did undo far enough. Let's see if those stars have trigger the border color change. So we should see a border color change when the stars disappear, which we don't. So that would imply that they're not. I mean, this is never happening, and this is because, well, no, that color would be 0 there. So interesting. I mean, let's do it like that. I mean, it shouldn't matter because the color should be 0 anyway at this point. Oh, wait, no. If the color, wait, hang on. So it loads it. If it's 0, it skips them all. Otherwise, it comes in here. This decreases, skips it all here if it's not less than 10. If it is less than 10, it does all of the. Okay, that should be fine. Why is that not incrementing the border then? Another game I'd recommend is that Ratchet and Clank as well. It's a really, really, really good game, especially if you've got kids as well. They'll love it. But it's just an amazing game as well. It's one of the most beautiful games on the system for definite. All right, there we go. They haven't moved, but they have had the frame changed. Did I not change that back? No, I did change it back. Why is that still displaying on the screen? Do I have to actually set them? Here one sprite. And then it should display. Oh, I tell you what we can do. We can just set that value. It's because this is being set. So actually, what we probably need to do is. So hang on, where's the skip all come from? Skip all comes from up there. Okay, we can probably move the skip all down. That's all we need to do. There we go. Dyson Sphere, I really like. Yeah. Oh, I need to go back and play that and see what they've added. As I'd only just started getting to using multi-planets. Like I had another planet set up. I can't remember what it was. It might have been like copper and oil or something. I can't remember what it was, but I had another planet set up with stuff, and I was really enjoying kind of setting the shuttles between them and stuff. It was kind of cool. But yeah, I really like the. Did you already play Rush in 2042? I have, but I wish they'd make it 64 players instead of 32. It's not enough. Feels empty after 128 players. I do like the changes they've made to the breakthrough points on orbital, and yeah, it's perfect. Oh no, it's not. Look, they're still there. What the hell? Hey man, why? Okay, that's fine. What we'll do is we'll move this back to here, and we will just set these values, hard code these values in. So for some bizarre reason, DICE decided to put 7 maps in the game, and 3 of the 7 maps had checkpoints, objectives on the top of skyscrapers with very little way to get up to the top of the skyscrapers. So it was very, very weighted towards the defenders winning, because they would just sit on the top, camp all the kind of bottlenecks, and nobody would be able to capture them. But they've realized that was a stupid idea, and they've moved them now, especially on breakthrough. It's a terrible idea. Yeah, there we go, perfect. So they've moved them now, and honestly, the new point on orbital that replaces the one on the top is the most fun I've had as infantry in the game so far. It was so much fun. But I do like Rush, but apparently they are putting 64 player Rush in at some point. I'm just not sure when they're going to do it. Where was that increment? It was when the stars. There it is. Right, cool. We're done with that screen then. Finally, that has taken so much time to do. But what it has given us in the process of doing that is lots of tools for doing various things. So I think they should just reverse the order of the capture points and let the attackers start on top of the roofs instead. Yeah, that would have been a nice idea. It was just really, really bad design. I mean, it works for conquest because you've got loads of different points, but when you're playing breakthrough and you've only got 2 points to attack, one is at the bottom of the tower and one is at the top. All people do is just camp the top, and then they park a freaking tank on top. Call in a tank airdrop and just sit it in front of the lift and just fire at the lift constantly. Really, really not fun at all. Although very good for points, because you would just get the proxy sensors and throw them down the stairs and just make like 120, 130 spot assists. Although they've nerfed that now, rightfully so as well. All right, cool. Let's give this a quick playthrough on this screen, and then we'll have a look what the next screen is that we're going to do. But I think we're done with this screen now. I think the next one is going to be quite simple. I should have got 45 minutes. It might be enough time to do it. Yeah, so you see a little sprite glitch then, but that's a multiplexer glitch. Not a lot I can do about that unless I change the randomizer for the positions of these to pick somewhere that's not in line with other sprites or like a limit on each one. But this is fine. I like this as it is. Seems to be good. A little bit of flickering here and there, but these are all glitches that I'll look at a later date and just make sure I can go back in and out. Cool. Right, so that's that screen done. This screen's already done. Don't need to do anything on this. Let me see who that was. GX Dablo, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Catches in the last... oh, God, I've got loads of these opened. You catches in the last 45 minutes. Hopefully we'll get another little bit of code done in a second. Should be pretty easy to do, I think. I'll explain when we get to it. So I can't remember if the laser can kill me now. I think it can, can't it? So I just need to stay out of its way. Okay, this is our next screen. Thank you, Nick. Thanks for the bits. Appreciate it. We need trivia murder quiz style quiz here. If 2 people guess the same, then no one gets it. I really, really enjoyed the trivia murder pie. It's my favorite one, that definitely. It's so good. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is we need to add a force field on here. Now these, I believe, are 2 characters wide. So the way this is going to work is is quite simple actually. We're gonna have a new new object called Forcefield. Um, as far as I know, the force fields only go down. I might be wrong, but I think at the moment, for now, we'll just make them go down. It will work kind of like a door. You define a start and an end point. Who's that? That's a big raid. It's Hiroshi again. Hey, Hiroshi. I'll wait for the music to stop and people to get through the ads, I guess. Actually, let's play this from the first screen. Hey Hirosu, thank you very much for the raid. Thank you for everybody that's come along with Hirosu. Welcome to my stream. Hope you're all doing well on this lovely rainy Thursday. Well, it's raining here anyway in London. What have you been up to, Hirosu? You've been doing you were doing Unity, weren't you, last time, I think? If I remember rightly. Or am I misremembering? I've got a terrible memory. I'm getting old. But yeah, I'm Shannon 50k. I do Commodore streaming, Commodore dev streaming. It's going to change a little bit next year. We're finishing off. This is the last code stream of the year. I'm going to take a bit of an extended break while I move house. But this is the game that we've been focusing on the Commodore, and this is what we're going to put all the time and effort into next year to try and get this done as quickly as possible and move on to new things like the Mega Drive, which I really kind of want to move on to soon. So let's start this screen. So we're doing. Oh yeah, that's right. Terrain generation. That was it. Yes, sorry. I do apologize. Yeah, I remember talking about it as well. Yeah. So yeah, we do assembly on this channel. We also play games on Tuesdays as well. And this Saturday, we're going to play games with the stream as well. We're giving away a PlayStation 5 to one subscriber. So if you want to win a PlayStation 5, just hit subscribe. I sound like a YouTuber, don't I? Hit like and subscribe, and don't remember to comment on the video. But yeah, if you subscribe to me and you're in the channel on Saturday night around about midnight UK time, we'll be doing a marbles on stream tournament for all subscribers, and the winner will walk away with a PlayStation 5 shipped to anywhere in the world as well. But we'll be spending Saturday night basically playing games. So we'll be doing Jackbox party games, which if you haven't seen those before, they're kind of like quiz games and drawing games where everybody can join in. You just need a phone to connect. Take care, Hirose. Thank you very much for the raid. Have a great sleep. But yeah, I mean, I feel like this is pretty good now. I feel like I'm actually playing a proper game now. Starting to come together. Oh, did we test the Robotron in the... Oh, I need to go and test that in here, don't I? All right. Oh, shit. Still got to be quick with that thing. Oh, no, the mace doesn't attack them yet. Oh, no, I'm going to lose the mace as well. Okay. We don't have the mace working on there. Okay, so... Let's try again. Let's try and get there and... organically. If we can't, then I'll just cheat, turn it on, get straight to that screen. I forgot all about that. We might have to just do that for the rest of the night. It shouldn't be too difficult though, because it does know when it's hitting. I'm sure we had that turned on at one point. My memory's not very good though, so I don't recall if we did or not. Oh my god, I move fast now. Wow. Oh no, it does hit them. All right, cool. I think I was just lucky with the placement. Oh, there's just a bit of a bug though. The mace seems to have a bug with removing them. Okay, so there's a little something to look at in here, I guess. We're not quite finished with this screen yet. 'Cause that one's still knocking around. It doesn't seem to have removed it properly for some reason. But I managed to finish the screen, so it's not too bad. Let me start it again. Let's see if we can replicate this. And hit that bell. Yes, like, subscribe, and hit the bell. That's the one. And leave a comment. Yeah, I'm not one for really begging people to subscribe and stuff. The only reason I'm trying to get people to subscribe for the PlayStation is because it costs 450 quid, so it makes sense to recoup as much of that as we can, even though it is already paid for with stream earnings. The more we get in this month, the better the prize will be next month, and so on and so on. So that's it. The other thing we do on this stream is pretty much 100% of the money made by the stream and by patron goes towards prizes on the stream. We've given away over £6,000 worth of prizes this year, if you include the PlayStation, and other things, which is kind of awesome, really. It's not something I'd ever thought I'd be able to do, but here we are, managed to give away lots and lots of stuff. And I'm more than happy to do it. I love doing these streams. It's not about the money for me. It's about enjoying them and making cool stuff and chatting with you guys, because you're all super cool people. So right, I'm just going to sit here and just let them come to me, and hopefully it should kill them all, right? Oh, of course, I've got to not die. Okay, so there is a little bit of timing, because there is obviously a gap as it spins around you, which kind of makes sense, I guess. And it's not happening this time either, so can I hit that? Yes. Okay, cool. This is feeling really good, I gotta say. So there's a little bit of a bug in this screen. I will make a mental note of that and come back to that. I don't want to spend too long on that. Let's see if I can clear everything as we go. Should probably pick things up as we go as well. Ooh, there we go. Yeah, I don't know what we're going to do for prizes next year, by the way. I haven't really thought about that very much, but we shall see what happens. So if anybody's got any ideas what we can do, I mean, we've done we've done quite a lot already. We've done what, Raspberry Pis. We've done little handheld things. We're going to do 2 Raspberry Pis as well on Saturday, and these little retro cube things. We've done the PlayStation. We've done lots. Yeah, Pi 400s we did as well. We've done 20 of the Nexus things, which is insane, really, when you think about it. The Mega 65, of course. A few other things here and there as well, little bits here and there. So yeah, it's something kind of along those lines. The more retro, the better, obviously. But it doesn't necessarily have to be retro. It can be, like a PlayStation isn't very retro. So, okay, so we need to do this beam on here. Actually, I'm not sure if we're going to have enough time to do it, but we can start doing it anyway. So the idea is going to be kind of like we do with the doors, kind of like we do with the Robotron things. We're going to load a character into the character set and fill this with a pattern. Now, because these are 2 characters wide, which I'm just going to confirm in the Charpad. I think they are anyway. Just need to check. God, I can never remember which ones these are. I say this every single week that I need to sort these out, and I never do. Yeah, there they are. So you can see it's 2. Where's it gone? Yeah, you see it's made up of 2 halves. And the beam needs to kind of come from the middle. So what we're going to do, we're going to put half of the beam in one half of a character and half of the beam in another half of the character. And all the beam is going to be is just going to be 2 characters duplicated all the way up the screen. So it'll be a pattern, a repeating pattern. But what we're then going to do is we're just going to basically take that pattern, and every frame we're going to take in each character 1 line, 1 byte, and swap it with another byte in both sides. And that means every 8 frames, everything should have at least swapped on average once. And what that will do is create a kind of static effect, and it will look like static line going all the way down. Hopefully it won't look too repetitive. If it does, we can always add more characters to it, but I don't think it will. I think it will look all right because it's a random static pattern anyway. So we'll start by making a new file, and we'll start loading stuff in for that, and we're gonna use the same technique we do for the doors and stuff to load in a new character, and use that. Might actually start to move that code out into a macro, maybe. So thanks for the recommendation, Razer Titles Pro. It is a really, really good pad. I like it, and it's nice and comfortable. It's got a really nice padded kind of wrist rest there, and a nice thing for the palm of your hand. So your palm isn't kind of just in the air arching. You're literally just relaxing your hand on it. And it has the nice analog buttons as well, which means you can, even though I think it's what 19 keyboard buttons, then you've got a mouse wheel, a clickable mouse wheel, a thumb button on a thumbstick, and then a final button on a 20th button on the edge. It's a gaming keyboard, gaming left hand gaming keyboard. So you use that instead of using your keyboard for like WASD and stuff. I don't actually use it in Battlefield. I should set it up because it will be a lot easier for me to use that. But it's nice because you can. It's just a macro keyboard, so you can set what you want on it. But it's really, really handy. So one of the things I do a lot with this is play MMOs, and the reason I do it is because of this little joystick on the side. So I can use the joystick for my WASD, and then I've got all my hotbars, all my quick bars. I just lay them out on the screen to look like this, and then I just look on the screen and say I want that one, and it's there in front of me. It takes maybe an hour or two to get used to using a thumbstick for WASD, but once you get used to it, it's exactly the same as using WASD. The only thing I would say is I probably would not use that for a first-person shooter because that needs like super reactions, and I don't think the reactions would be perfect with a joystick. I think they'd be a little bit off. But it's really cool. It's really nice, and you can set layers on it as well. So you can set it to like if you press the button hard, it will do one thing. If you press it soft, it will do another thing. So, but yeah, it's a cool little device. I've had a few of them over the years, but this is definitely one of my favorite ones. And the buttons feel really nice. They are mechanical, but they don't sound mechanical because they're analog. So yeah, and you can set the LED. So the other thing I do when I'm playing an MMO is I set the colors of the keys based on the type of spell. So if it's a buff, I'll set like a yellow color. If it's a damage spell, I'll set a red color. If it's a healing spell, I'll set a green color, and so on and so on. So I can quickly look, and I can kind of my brain will match what's in my quick bars to what's on the keys there. It's very easy to do it that way as well. And you can set profiles as well, so it will automatically load a different profile depending on which game you load up. So it's really cool. It's nice, yeah, and it has got quite decent LED stuff. Yeah, it's a little bit pricier than the ones I had before. I think it's like I can't remember how much it was. I think it's like 120 quid or something like that. But it's if you value kind of comfort in your wrists when you're playing MMOs, which is when you do play MMOs, you do spend a long time at those games. Then this is well worth it. They do. Sean just got. I don't know if Sean's still in the chat. He probably isn't. He's probably off playing Battlefield. I'll tell you now if he is. No, he's not. Oh, that's surprising. You can get like a little wrist rest for your mouse hand as well. But unlike normal wrist rests, which are just like a static thing you put on the desk and you rest your wrist on it, this actually you put it underneath the ball of your palm, and it's got the same kind of Teflon stickers on the bottom, so it slides around like your mouse, but it gives you a wrist rest that slides around as you're moving your mouse around. I forget the name of it. Sean can tell you next time he's on. If anybody's interested in that, ask Sean about it. He's got one himself. Looks really cool. Wouldn't mind getting one myself. All right, let's set this up. So we're going to call this one Forcefields. We're going to put it in dynamic because that's where it's going to belong. let's just call it Forcefield. Let's save that as .asm. And let's go and make sure that this imports. So let's take a look at the basics of the code setup. So we need, let's close all of this down. We don't need all of this anymore. I'm really happy with that Robotron screen. It feels really good. That's the nice thing about it. So we'll call it Forcefield Dynamic Car, and then it's going to be Forcefield in here. And this is so that we have a proper address that we can load it into. And remember, we moved the dynamic code up into the top area of memory, so we could use inline kind of, well, not inline, but sprites and characters that would just fit into the Vic bank without us having to move them around. It's not that one, is it? It's this one is the one we're looking at. Okay. Okay, so this is Forcefield. Now, what we're doing here is entirely up to us, but we do need to load it in when we want it. So that means we need to find the screen that has it. But Isaac, put this one on. Nicomo, thank you. ZQSD, yeah, it's Xerty, isn't it? Xerty, whatever it is. Xerty, I can't remember. Okay, so this is going to be quite similar to Robotron in the way that it loads the initial part. So we'll keep that screen. We'll keep this loaded up here to have the correct screen on, because we can jump straight into that screen. That's fine. Actually, we'll start on this screen. And then just move over. It should be easy enough to do. We don't need that anymore. So we'll keep Forcefield open. So we need to know what screen number it's going to be. Well, it's going to be screen 12. We do have the swarm in here, but we don't have anything else. So we're going to use that, the Robotron screen, as a reference on how to set these up. So what do we need to do? Okay, so we don't do anything in the dynamic. It's in this one, isn't it? Yeah, here we go. So we need that, and we need that. And this is where we're going to load in these extra things. So before we load them in, though, we need to make sure that they're added to the cart system. So this is where we need this. Call this Forcefield Dynamic Cart. And then that becomes this here. Tubular bells. Oh, it's got the bass line in as well. Do, 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 do. Oh, I need to listen to this on my headphones. Them headphones are really good, by the way. I really like them. Very happy with them. Definitely would recommend a pair. Okay, so we've added the file to the system. So now we just need to load it in. So this is the basic load code. We don't need anything else up here because this is specific to this particular screen. We just need... oh, I've already put it in. Oh, it loads a swarm. Okay. Okay. We're loading two things in here. So let's take a look. Yeah, see, look, the swarm is loaded at E800. The force field is also loaded at E800. So we can't rely on that directly. So this needs to be a bit sneaky how we do this. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the swarm up to F00. So there will be a little bit of this here and there, unfortunately. There isn't really a way around this. So I do need to load the swarm up here. Where's it gone? There it is. I will keep the force. Now, the reason I've done the swarm at the top and higher up is because we're probably going to need more room for the swarm and less room for the force field. So we'll do the force field at E800 and we'll do the swarm at F00. So this is our force field at E800. That's fine. So we do need to load that in. So we need to look at that and load. Force field. which then jumps to screen 12 dynamic. So it's this one here, and this is where we set things up, and it initializes the swarm. We also need to now do force field in it. Now, this is going to need some parameters passed into it. So because we want this to be a dynamic force field, because there are multiple of these in the game. So we need to make sure these are set up correctly. So can you load the dynamic code and add an offset to all jumps self-mod code? You could, I guess. But then if you load them in a different order, when you do this, not that, sorry. When you do this address will be different depending on what order things have been loaded in. So on a screen that's got a force field but no swarm, this would be at E800, right? On a screen that's got both of them, this would be at like EC100 or whatever, right? Which means the compiler or the kick assembler has to decide which one of these to put in there. So without having a hard-coded pseudo value in here, it wouldn't know what that value is. So you would then have to start storing all the function calls as things. So I get the idea, but I don't think it would work, unfortunately, in this case. It's fine. There's not going to be too many screens that do this, I don't think. So, and if there are, we need to mess about with it a little bit. We've only got 20 minutes left anyway, so I'm not really going to get a lot of time to do this, but we can at least kind of make a fairly decent start on it. So, okay, so we just need 2 characters. So we're going to use the Robotron as a guide for this, because that actually does have the characters loading in. We'll use the same system. I should probably macro this, and maybe that's what I should do right now, actually, is macro this copy char thing. So we've got this whole function here. Let's just have a look. As we do it, I'm gonna have a think about how this would work. So init would be it's already got the name in. Okay. So what is this actually doing? Okay, this is taking our local font pointer and store it in a 0-page vector here. So these can definitely be macroed. There's nothing weird about that here. Robotron chars, that is just going to be a pointer down here somewhere. No? Oh, you don't need that either on this one. That would be for the swarm. Where's the Robotron chars? Ah, there we go. So they're stored here. So that's a pointer. All right, let's turn this into a macro and then have a think about how this is going to work. So what we pass in and what we get out the other side. I'll put it here for now, but we will move it to a better place. And then I think on the next stream we'll have a think about kind of refactoring the other ones to use this. So we'll go through the door and this system, because this is going to be something we do quite a lot, I imagine, is try and add stuff in. So okay, so we're going to use this 0-page value. So let's rename this 0-page value. If I remember rightly, it's God, this music. Heard this music a few times. So we've got font vec. So let's just call it font vec here, and font fetch here. So we've got font vec and font fetch. Okay, so we can get rid of that and get rid of that. Okay, so this local font pointer will not change. This is something that has to be grabbed. This, however, will be something we grab. So this is our char fetch address. So this is where the characters come from. And that gets stored there. And then we take the local font index. I don't know sure what that is about. We'll come back to that in a second. Okay, so let's change all the font vecs and font fetches, and then it'll be easy for us to see. So not there, font fetch, yes. Index, end of font space, that has to remain. That changes, font vec, okay. Yeah, I think this is mostly macroable. I think this should be pretty easy, because this bit is kind of consistent. This doesn't need to change. This is what does the wrapping, basically. Not that one, sorry. Font vec, font vec. Okay, so what have we got here? Repeat the copy 20 times. Okay, that's not what it's doing there. It's changing. Char counter. All right, let's change that one down here to char counter. I'm really proud of this song because I've heard this song easily 1,000 times. I had it on loop while I was coding and stuff. And it still doesn't grate on me. And that, for me, is what I was trying to aim for with this tune. It's not the most kind of extravagant tune or anything, but it is something that you can just leave, and it's kind of ambient-ish enough to kind of to not grate on you, which is good. Very pleased with that. Okay, so we've got what did I change then? It was char counter. Okay, so char counter seems to be where we set the limit of how many characters we copy. Okay, so what we check in here, we're checking how many we're copying. So Robotron, let's go and have a look. It's in the source, isn't it? That's why. Dynamic assets. No, maybe not. Oh, it's in here, but it doesn't seem to be. Well, anyway, this is the value we need to check here. So this is number to copy, number chars to copy. So where we're copying them from, how many are we copying? And then we need a place to store the indexes. So let's change this to font index. Means we can probably clear out this 0-page file a little bit once we've done these. So font index is the index of the character that we're just about to copy. So take our char counter value. And we take our font index. So char counter is, yeah, okay, so this is okay, so we pass 3 properties in, and that should be enough to copy the chars. I think that's it. I think that is all we need to do here. Font index, font index. Yeah, that is it. That's nice and simple. All right, I think we can try and refactor this a little bit as well. Oh, listen is dead. Oh, is everything's broken? All right, hang on. All I have to do is click. Hang on. Did anybody request anything? No, all right. Just do that and it should fix it. Thank you for the bit as well. Thank you for the listen bit. Appreciate it. Should all reset once the tunes have loaded in. Should be fine. There's only 15 minutes to go though. When did it stop working? Oh, they won't work anyway. Those things won't work. Minutes ago. No idea what would have caused it though. After everything dropped tables, yeah, it's not a database, so it should be fine. And it's doing a sanitization on the inputs anyway, so it's probably just a bug somewhere. It's probably more likely that well, maybe it was the drop tables that bugged it out, but it wouldn't have done anything. It just bugged it out, I guess. Or Tron trying to do SQL injection. Go on, Tron. If anything, Tron's is probably more likely to have done something. But again, it's not like anything's evaluated or there's no SQL search, so I don't think it's that. I think something is just broken somewhere. It's fine. Okay, I think that macro kind of looks okay. So what I'm going to try and do now is I'm going to try and copy this. Actually, let's put this in. Have I got a file called macros? I do. All right, let's go and stick this in macros. So this is quite a big one. This is like a huge macro, but hopefully it should work kind of quite nicely. So let's go and have a look at the Robotron. So we are going to go back to the Robotron screen again, I'm afraid. Let's put a copy char function in here and just return from it, but we'll use the Robotron screen to test this. So we go back to Robotron, find the copy char function, and let's have a look what we need to do to make this macro work. So char fetch address is Robotron chars. Number of chars to copy was 9. And the char index store was chars. That means up here there should be a thing called chars. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, okay, that's perfect. To see if that works first. Should get rid of the RTS in the macros file because that's not needed. If this works, we'll do it the same for the doors as well. If it works on the doors, it should do in theory. So we've got a bug in the code somewhere. Oh, I haven't imported it, that's why. And where does that get imported? Here. I mean, the better way of doing that is to actually have a function that you call, but oh, why has it gone? That's odd. Weird. It's reset all my settings in here for some reason. Normal, yeah. Really weird. I don't know why it's done that. Okay. Maybe because I closed so many down at the same time. Oh, it's got all my joystick settings as well. What is going on there? What's that about? Very weird. So we just want to get into that Robotron screen. Just make sure that the Robotrons load properly. If they load properly, we'll do the same for the doors, and then I'll call it a night. Or I might call it a night after this, actually, because we're almost there. So all we're looking for is that the Robotron sprites appear properly, basically, the Robotron characters. Which they do, which is really nice. All right, well, because that works so easily, we'll try the door, because we've got a door here and we've got a door on the other screen as well. So let's just go and clear up that code a little bit to get rid of all of this. We don't need this anymore. And let's go and have a look at the door functions. Doors, here we go. So we've got door char list here. So look, copy door chars. Okay. So let's see if it works the same for this. So door chars is where we're copying from. This all looks the same. This all looks good. Looks good. $20 is the value here. All right. Don't know why I'm using decimal. I keep falling back to decimal for some reason. Door char list. Oh my god, if this works, this is so much easier. It's just going to make the rest of the code delightful to work with. So, okay, well, it's loaded the door. Let's see if it opens properly. It does. That's great. Shit, all right. Let's try and get through here and try the Robotron screen door to make sure that works. But yeah, I mean, that's I mean, why wouldn't it? I mean, it's a simple enough macro. There isn't an awful lot of settings, which is why I think it could also be a piece of code that's actually loaded in dynamically on a bank, so it doesn't even have to reside in memory. You could just have it point to, you know, those three variables could quite easily be passed into it through zero page. You just bank in the code that does it, do the copy. But I mean, this macro is fine. There's no reason not to. But yeah, this all seems to work. And just make sure that the door can open again. Besides, I want to play. Oh, that sprite doesn't. There's a few little bugs in this screen. We'll have to revisit this at some point. That sprite is not disappearing properly. No, it has. Oh, damn it! All right. But yeah, okay, that looks good enough. Okay, I think I'm gonna call it a night there. We'll do the Forcefield on the next stream next year. I may do some of this code before then. I do want to get cracking with this. I think what's probably going to happen next year is this becomes the Saturday game. I'm just going to pause the Mega 65 stuff for now. The aim of the Mega 65 stuff was always to help teach you guys how to use it and get something ready for Christmas. I've failed on getting something ready for Christmas. So I'm just going to pause that. I will go back to it, obviously. But, you know, you guys will have the machines in your hands after December anyway. So you'll be able to, you'll be able to try out some of those stuff. And there's not as much need for me to do it right now anyway. But we will do some Mega 65 streams probably on Thursdays instead. Now and again, we'll mix it up a little bit. I was speaking to Doxter, we might do some kind of dissections of stuff that's been released for it. Maybe do some dissections of C64 games as well, and other random stuff. Thursdays will be the random day. Saturday will be Cecconoid, but I'll clarify better next year, and we'll see where we are and what I want to do. As I say, I may do more gaming streams on other days, and I may do different things on the Tuesdays as well. So I don't know what's going to happen. Oh yeah, I have a network error in Twitch. Twitch must have had a glitch or something. That's probably what's gone on. Do you and Andy win then? Yes, I think so. You two are the top of the table, aren't you? So yeah, you two will receive one of these. If you want the red one, there's one red one. So if somebody wants a red one, you're fine to have it. Otherwise, there's a black one that will be coming. So I will send these out to you fairly soon. I know I've probably already got your addresses somewhere, but if you can just send me your addresses again, just to make absolutely sure. But yeah, steps one with a lead of 110,000. That's quite a jump there. And I do like the Christmas one, the red one. It's Christmassy. And yeah, Saturday is going to be a lot of fun. So we're going to give away the PlayStation 5 on Saturday. As I say, if you aren't already, hit subscribe, hit like, hit the bell. No, just hit subscribe. You can use Twitch Prime. You can use real money. You can steal a sub off someone if you want. I don't care. As long as you're subbed, that's the only way you're going to be able to get into the race. We'll do 4 marble races minimum. Winner takes a PS5, and we'll play Jackpot's Party games all night. I've got a list of 8 games that I want to play. Some we've already played, and then there's some that we haven't. So we'll go through as many of them as we can. And then, like I say, you will need to use the Twitch login. And depending on how it goes, I may hide the room code and only put it in Discord until the rooms are filled up. Depends how it goes on the night. We'll see. We'll play it by ear a little bit. Right, let's see if we can raid. But yeah, thank you everyone for coming along tonight. It's last coding stream of the year. It's kind of a slightly proud moment. We've got quite a lot done. I'm glad we got the Robotron screen done. There are a few little bugs in it, but nothing super serious. Who should we raid? We've got Tonda, Chalk, or Rat707. Let's go Rat707. She was quite fun. Let's see what she's playing this time. She's got the least viewers of the 3, so we'll do her a favour and take you all over there. So thank you very much for joining tonight. I shall see you all Saturday. So same time, same place, same VAT channel, all that lot. But we'll just be playing Jackpot's Party games all night. So take care, guys, and I'll see you all soon. Cheerio.